I wanted to take a quick look at our week 3 assignment, talking about unwrapping and all of that. I know I attached a video into the announcements kind of going over the theory of unwrapping and all of that, but I wanted to do a short video kind of explaining exactly what I'm looking for here. The same is in Max and Maya. Since my other video was mainly in Maya, I decided to do this one in Max. But here's how we get started with this one. So I am going to create a cube or a box again. Just make sure it's even and change the length, width, and height segments to 3. That's how I got the 3 by 3 grid here. All right, so now we need to unwrap. So to do so, I'm going to convert to editable poly. I'll click on my shape. I'll go into my modifier list. If you type in U, it'll go all the way down to the U's. Otherwise, it's in alphabetical order. I'll do unwrap UVW. And you see we have these green lines here. If I scroll up, depending on yours might need to be scrolled down, but I can open up my UV editor. And you can see I've got my 3 by 3 grid. All sides are overlapping. Now, overlapping UVs is dangerous because currently this face is overlapping with the same face on each side. What that means is if I were going to put a texture here, because they are overlapping here, it would go on all of those sides. So if I wanted to make this side, look like brass, and then I wanted this side of my cube to look like the sky for some reason, I wouldn't be able to because my UVs are overlapping right here. It would be whatever texture I put on one would reflect on all of them. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to use this UV space and organize these to all fit separately on here. So what do I need to do? Well, I can go in my polygon selection. I'm going to hold down Control to select multiples. And for me, it seems easiest to start with our little cross T's here. If that's not easy for you, then that's fine. Do it in whatever order makes sense for you. But, so what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to Projection and Planar Map Projection. Once I do this planar map, and again in my other video, think of it as the projector. We're shining our texture onto a flat plane. But you'll see this just turned into a line. And that's because my align options aren't set. So you can see if it's in X, it's a line straight down the center. If it's in Y, we can actually see my cube here. So then what I'm going to do is I'll click on my face mode here. I've got my move tool selected. It's the same hotkeys. I'm going to roll the middle mouse out. Now I've moved this away. You can see that I still have other ones underneath because we have to do this several times for each side to get them so they don't overlap. Our final result, we're going to want to fit in this grid space, but for me, and again, whatever way works best for you, I like to separate all of my pieces out first and then scale them all down. I mean, if you wanted to, you could hit R for scale and scale this down, W for move, and move this back closer. And then we're just going to rotate around here and do this again. So I will grab my T here. I'm going to do a planar map, planar projection. This one is going to be a line in X. This is set. And then I can move this out of here. Now you need to remember how to organize this based upon this chart. And you can see, it says depicted in the images in the composite. So we're going to need to move these T's and our little corner pieces out. So your one T is going to be here. They're going to really fit in the 4 corners and then towards the center here. So keep track of what you're actually dealing with. I'm just going to show you kind of how to do the main part of the assignment. So projection turned into a flat line over here. So I got to figure out Y. And then I will move this out of the way. And I'll scale it down. Okay, so eventually you would do this to all 6 sides, and then you're going to need to grab the corners. Oops. Okay, I'm going to grab the remaining pieces for right now. We're going to move those out of the way so you can see how you would fill this back in. So you're going to have to play around with scale and moving these pieces to fit so that you can match the drawing. Okay, you can always do these at the same time and kind of get them to try to be the same scale. If I never scaled any of them down, they would be the same size. I could scale them all down together to make sure they match. If need be, you can overlap them, scale them to fit, and then move again. But you'll continue around to build the shape that is in that assignment. Alrighty, hope this helps.